Day of March 2021. Notice was sent to the West Bend Daily News, Express News, WIBD, WMBZ Radio, WTKM Radio, My Community Now, Hartford Times Press, Kewaskum Statesman, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Okay, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Supervisor Milliken had notified me in advance that he wouldn't be able to be here, so he's excused for roll call. And then I also noticed Supervisor Berg is not here yet. Okay, consent agenda. Any questions on the consent agenda? Okay, I'll take a motion to approve. Motion by Supervisor Gannering. Second by Supervisor Marquardt. All those in favor? Aye, and any opposed? Okay, passes unanimously. Okay, our next item is Washington County Hazard Mitigation Plan update. So I'm guessing that's Rob Schmidt, right? All right.
I brought along a prop here. This is the actual plan. When Sewer Pack does plans, they're thick like this. So, but I have extra copies, so if anybody ever wants to read this,
Now, just to
I'll
make
be
sure,
happy to provide it.
we're not required to memorize that, are we?
No, nor am I. Yeah, but no, but that is the gist of my discussion item here today. This was completed and adopted by the board in December of 17, I think I put on my report. And every 5 years per the FEMA program, it has to be reviewed and updated. And so believe it or not, we have to start you can get a grant to hire a contractor, which we use Sewer Pack for, to start that process. And believe it or not, that's the rotation the state keeps track, and we have to start this process already because it takes about a year to do the actual whole review and update process. So that most of that's going to be done starting in fall this year through fall of next year, and then hopefully be approved again by the board late in 22, which will be right at the 5-year mark. So what happened was the state contacted me. They keep track of all counties, and a few cities have plans like this. And they contacted me. They had, normally I was going to be this coming year 21 to start all this, but they had some extra money left over, so they wanted me to do it quickly in December. So kind of short notice. I did submit the application, but we haven't been awarded it yet, and no one will sign anything until we actually bring it before this committee and then the full county board to actually accept the grant. But I didn't feel that I was sticking my neck out too far, because fortunately this partnering with Sewer Pack, the federal government covers 75% of the project, and the other 25% is a local match. And what Sewer Pack does is they cover that in what they call in-kind, all their staff time and their costs of the project. So it doesn't really involve any county money at all. Some staff time, obviously, and some other things, but that's part of my job anyway. So I didn't think I was risking anything too much, but I wanted to let the committee know about it at least without just doing it and not telling anyone. It happened in December. I was unable to make the public safety meeting in January because I had a prior commitment, and then I don't think we had a meeting in February, right? So I'm here now. So sorry it's a little bit late, but that's the story. I can certainly answer any questions that you might have, but really I'm just letting you know that I applied for the grant, but certainly won't accept the grant and start doing anything until we get formal approval from the board. But having approved the plan, and they knew then that this was going to be an every 5-year kind of a thing. So I don't think hopefully it'll pass.
Okay, any questions for Rob?
All right.
Okay, at this point, do we need to make any motion on this, or nope? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All
More
right.
just an informative thing.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to our next item. which is the advisory resolution supporting legislation in criminal and ordinance violation surcharge. And I think, is this Teresa Russell? Ed's going to speak to this. All right, perfect.
Sure. Thank you, Chairman. Basically, what we're trying to accomplish here is with continuation of state continually underfunding the court system. This, we looked at this with other counties and trying to partner to make a case, at least in part, that if we can increase the criminal and traffic forfeiture violation by $20, that the clerk of courts could retain that entire $20. And while it would not make them whole, it would go a long ways in trying to reduce the debt operation, if that makes sense. And so this would be an advisory referendum, basically asking the legislature to let us have some control over our finances. To add anything to that.
Okay, questions or comments? Okay.
How much would it
What?
take to make it?
You
whole?
need to use your microphone, Joe.
I guess my only question is, you said it will not make them whole, but how much would it take to make them whole?
Well, the short answer is to have the state fully fund the court systems as they're responsible for in statute. As to specifics, I leave that to the courts. So
Right.
the ultimate request would be fully fund. That probably won't go anywhere. This at least is a chance to get some partial victory.
Because they are supposed to fund anyways, but.
Correct.
Okay, Supervisor Marquardt?
Thanks. I was just trying to get a kind of a scale of the number of cases we deal with that would be affected by this every year. You have that?
I don't have, that's a great question. I don't have that information. I don't know if other people have that currently, or we can certainly follow up with you. Your question is how many total cases, criminal, traffic forfeiture, and then what would that dollar amount be?
Yeah, I mean, just a kind of an annual amount that's affected here.
Sure.
And then, so we're talking about going 20 to 40, correct? Just adding 20 to the current fees is what this.
So the county executive's request is to have this accomplishment made. Right now, traffic and forfeiture cases are $20 in court costs, so it will double to 40. Of that initial 20, the clerk of court's office is able to retain 10, and 10 of that 20 goes to the state. What Ed is asking for is for that additional 20 to be retained completely by the clerk of court's office. In criminal matters, the court costs are $163, of which the court retains $9.99. So the additional $20. And as far as cases go, I didn't have that readily available, but the numbers that we talked about, was it that this would generate
Close to it. It wasn't more than 50, but it's in that range, the 40 to 50 range as far as dollar amount.
Okay, I guess my thing when I look at this, we haven't adjusted these fees since 1991. And I know the cost to prosecute criminals has gone up a lot since then. Cases are more detailed as well. Staff has gotten a lot of pay increases since then. Cost of living's gone up a lot since 1991. So criminals should pay their fair share into this. So I am absolutely okay with increasing this fee. So with that, I guess I'll entertain a motion to approve this. Supervisor Marquardt? Supervisor Gonnering seconds. All those in favor of adopting this? Okay, any opposed? Okay, and it passes unanimously. All right, our final agenda item here is the advisory resolution supporting legislation to remove the requirement for duplicate copies of a transcript for applications of a search warrant. Okay,
So this is brought forth by myself and Judge Muehlbauer. Judge Muehlbauer worked on a project where we're now doing search warrants electronically. So any law enforcement agency that has a search warrant that needs to be approved in the middle of the night, judges have tablets at home and they're able to electronically sign those warrants. But as part of that process, the statutes allow for the judge to have this recorded. So the law enforcement officer, the judge are on a recorded line to the sheriff's department. Dispatch is available 24 hours a day, so they have to do that. And then the statutes also allow for the judge, well, it doesn't allow, it requires that the judge get a copy of that recording and have it transcribed. So that recording is on a CD, and that CD is by statute to be maintained by my office. So setting that procedure aside, let's look at all the other things that a court recorder does. So a court recorder does verbatim record in the courtroom whenever there's any court hearing. And it could be a traffic court trial, it could be a family divorce case, it could be a criminal matter. We never know, except in certain circumstances, if a transcript is going to be requested. So those steno notes generated from those hearings are maintained by my office for 10 years. Okay. So we retain those records, no questions asked, and then they're destroyed after 10 years. These with the sheriff's department search warrant records, with that voice recording, those are being transcribed immediately. The transcription, according to Supreme Court rule, the verbatim record is intended to assist in the preparation of a transcript. Transcript and not the verbatim record is the official record of the proceedings. That is by Supreme Court Rule 71.03, sub 2. So, in essence, there is no reason to keep that voice recording because the official record is being filed in my office as a transcript. Whereas the other verbatim records from all those other cases, those have not been transcribed and those do not have an official record. So we're maintaining all of those for 10 years. And I don't see a reason, and neither does Judge Muehlbauer, in maintaining those records. And this statute was written a long time ago, before there was even any thought of any digital process available to the court system. So what we're asking is the one sentence be removed from Wisconsin Statute 968.12, sub 3, sub 2D. If the testimony was recorded by means of a video recording device, the judge shall also file the original recording with the court. That's what we're looking to remove from the statute. And we would like your support.
all right, questions or comments on this? Supervisor Marquardt?
I think this is the perfect thing where people on the, they have to deal with this every day at the ground level are, looking for inefficiencies and outdated pieces of legislation that we can then convey to our legislature. So I'm certainly supporting it.
Okay, I did actually have a chance to speak to our chief of staff about this. I also happened to run into our sheriff, Marty Schulteis, and talk to him about this, as well as Judge Martins. and our district attorney, Rob Benson. And all of them supported this as well. They didn't see this as any threat to the ability to be able to prosecute somebody and have that restraining order hold up. So I'm in favor of this as well. I guess at this point, we need a motion to approve. Okay, approve, motion by Supervisor Gannering, second. Second by Supervisor Marquardt. All those in favor? Any opposed? And the motion carries unanimously. All right, thank you. And I think that's our last agenda item. Our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, April 21st at 7:30, and we will